Hi, and welcome to Crafts with Ash. My name's Ashley, and this is my mom, and today we're going to be bringing you something a little different that I've never done on my channel before. So as you may or may not know, my family of 3 moved into my parents' house in November, and with that, we brought a lot of stuff, but also we brought the food that was in our own old home. Not only that, but on top of that, they added 3 more mouths to feed, so that just means the groceries in this house went up. And that means that their pantry got a little out of control. So today, we're gonna do an extreme pantry makeover. So I'm gonna go ahead and insert the before shot here. And as you can see, this needs a little bit of help. So today we are going to work on attacking this pantry and make it more organized and more functional for our family to use. So by using a couple different steps, we are going to make this look amazing. Now, before we begin, don't forget, if you haven't done so already, please subscribe to my YouTube channel and hit that little notification bell so you can get notified anytime I upload a new video. Also, if you are so into organizing and DIYs and crafts and home decor, give this video a thumbs up because that tells YouTube that you want to see more of my content. Then join me on Facebook and Instagram and join my crafting community. I show a lot of behind the scenes content that I know you're not going to want to miss. Ready, Mom?
Yes.
Let's do this.
So it's time for step 1, and that of course is cleaning out the entire pantry. Now my mom's pantry is pretty deep, so it did fit a lot of food and a lot of items, which is great, but it got cluttered easily. Now here's a little pro tip. If you need to reach things very high and in the back, use some tongs. Short girl problems, am I right?
Okay, so as you can see, my mom's dining room table is completely full. We don't have any more room to put anything on it, and we only got through like 3 shelves. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna go ahead and thin this out by throwing away anything that was expired or things that we're not going to be using or eating anymore. And then that way we're gonna clear up some room and then keep getting everything out of the pantry and cleaning it out.
Okay, so like I said, before we could clean out any more of the shelves in the pantry, we had to clean off this table because we ran out of room. So right now we're just going through and throwing away anything that expired or anything that maybe she doesn't want. Now, as we're doing this, we are kind of lumping things together. So we're putting all of her pastas together, we're putting any breakfast foods together, some spices together, dressings together, oils together. We're kind of grouping things into certain categories. That way we can continue with that as we clean out the rest of the pantry.
Okay, so we know it doesn't look like it, but we did clear a lot of that stuff off the table. But also what we did was we grouped some things. So we have all the pastas over here. Yes, being from an Italian family, my mom is Italian, we have a lot of pasta. So that's gonna be a huge part of her pantry. But we have the pastas, we have kids snacks, we have breakfast foods, we have nuts, we have rice. So we really started grouping everything. So now we kind of have a system. So when we get all the rest of the stuff out of the pantry, we know where to put it. So let's keep decluttering.
It was funny because my mom was actually kind of embarrassed that I was going to video this because she was embarrassed of her pantry. And I just had to remind her, you know, this is real life. And I'm sure that we're not the only ones with a pantry that looks like this. And we could really be helping people come up with some ideas on how to organize it and make it more functional. So then after that, I had convinced her. But it's real life, folks. This is what I offer here.
Okay, so as you can see, we have now cleared out the pantry mostly. Some of the big stuff we're gonna leave in there. Obviously, it needs a good cleaning. However, first, before we get to that, we need to take an inventory of everything that my mom has. So Like I said, we kind of already started separating, so like noodles and pasta, breakfast things and stuff like that. But we're gonna take an inventory of everything she has, and then we're going to try to figure out how many bins and what kind of storage containers would work best for the different types of food. Now we are going to combine certain things, like we'll put all the penne in one container, we'll put all the orzo in one container and stuff like that. But we just wanna make this pantry look so much more organized and sleek and functional. So we are going to sit down and make a list of everything we wanna organize, and then comes the fun part, and that's shopping at the Dollar Tree for some organizational bins and supplies.
Okay, so this is step 2, and like I said, we just basically took an inventory of everything she had. And the great thing about lumping things together is that now we have an idea of how many bins we need and how big of a bin we need for certain items.
Okay, so now that we've pretty much made a list of all the bins and containers we're gonna need, my mom's gonna go ahead and clean out her pantry, and this has gotta be so satisfying for her.
So the first thing my mom did was give everything a really good vacuum. She vacuumed all of the shelves. There was a lot of crumbs and, stuff from, maybe powders, maybe something that leaked, maybe a bag ripped. So she went ahead and vacuumed it out really well. Next, she cleaned all of the shelves with just some simple soap and water. She really wiped them down. Now, for spots that she couldn't get off the shelves, she did use a magic eraser, and it really helped to get any stains off and to give it a nice clean shine. Then, when she was done with that part, it was time to shop.
Okay, so we just got to the Dollar Tree, so we're gonna go inside and see what kind of storage containers and bins and organizational supplies and labels and things like that we can find. Wish us luck.
So we went on a pretty good day. They were pretty much fully stocked with a lot of baskets and storage containers and organizational items. Now, my mom did want white. She didn't really want any of the colored things, so we did try to stick to white or clear. So we picked up a bunch of those white baskets at the bottom shelf, and then there were some that I didn't show that were just kind of on the floor, like bins. And then as far as storage containers go for foods, we did get some clear ones. That way she can put her noodles and rice and things like that.
Okay, so we just got back from the Dollar Tree, and I have to say we did pretty good. We got some large containers for the bottom shelf to put some of the bigger items in, and then some things that we're gonna put the pasta in and spaghetti and stuff like that. So I think right now what we're gonna do is just kind of sit down and talk about a game plan. Where are we going to put all of this stuff, and what are we gonna use each of the containers for? So let's get moving.
So at this point, we laid out all of the containers, and we just really started putting the groupings that we had already done inside the containers. And this was just a bunch of trial and error. We just try to figure out where would, what items would go best. Now, while we were at the Dollar Tree, we did buy my daughter that little pink container, and I put all of her snacks in there. That way, if she asks me for a snack, then I can say, okay, you can get one snack out of your pink container or out of Amelia's snack bin, or, stuff like that, because of course she's asking for snacks all day. So this will just make it easier on all of us. And then, as you can see, I just laid out all the bins and just started putting different items in each one, or different categories. So that one all the way to the left is all baking stuff. The one next to it is snacks, crackers, popcorn, raisins. Then we have coffee and tea in the next one. And then after that is breakfast foods. And then you can see that I'm kind of playing with the oils here. So like I said earlier, it was just kind of trial and error and just kind of figuring out what fit best into what kind of bins. And then we also bought some big bins to put it at the bottom shelf, the very bottom shelf, for her to put her bags of potatoes or oranges or tomatoes and onions and things like that. So I really loved being able to organize her stuff like that, because it's just going to make it so much easier on all of us to, to reach in there and grab something or find something that we need. Now, one of our goals here today was to eliminate a lot of boxes and bags, and that way it kind of saved room, but it also helped to not make it look so junky and cluttered. So I did remove, as you can see, I'm removing all the pudding out of the containers or all the applesauce out of the package, and I am just putting them right into the bins, especially because those are my daughter's snacks. So again, it's going to make it easier for her to grab. And then if a box wasn't open, I wasn't going to open it just to pour it in another container, but I loved using these baskets because it really helped keep everything together. So I just really love how neat and organized this all looked. So after we got all of the food items in their containers, of course, the next step is to start loading up the pantry again. Now, I put all of her vegetables and fruits at the bottom because I knew that's where she wanted them. But as far as organizing and putting stuff back, I let her do it because, of course, this is her pantry. So I wanted her to put her most used items at eye level, and then some things that she really doesn't use, she put all the way at the top. So I just let her kind of organize this, and this did take a while. I mean, it again is just kind of playing around with what fits where, and we did eliminate bins as we went. So you'll see us kind of take stuff out, put stuff back in. Just take your time and really think about what items do you use the most? What don't you use? In fact, there were some items that we actually took down here, like that whole thing of macaroni and cheese. We put that actually in the basement because there was already a ton of macaroni and cheese in that pantry already. So we put that in the basement, and then once the ones in the pantry run out, we'll go ahead and replace those. But like I said, it's just, just trying to think about what works best and where, and, what works best for you. So after we got the majority of the items in the pantry, I went ahead and combined her noodles together. So I put all of the tri-colored noodles in one storage container. I put all the orzo in one. I put all the penne in one. I put some rice in another one. And this really helped to eliminate a ton of those boxes and bags. And it makes it look so much more organized and clean too. My mom really loved how this turned out. Now, we could not find a container that would fit all of her spaghetti lengthwise. The spaghetti was too tall. So she broke the spaghetti in half because when she cooks spaghetti, she actually breaks them in half anyway. So this way, it's kind of already done. And then I went ahead and filled up a container with cereal and then filled up a container with some veggie straws, which my daughter absolutely loves. Then we put them back in the pantry. So my mom had this big storage container in her pantry, and this is where she keeps all of her cookbooks. So she really wanted to cover the top because it was kind of dirty and it was stained. So even though she cleaned it and washed it, it just kind of looked ugly. So while we were at the Dollar Tree, she actually picked up some contact paper, and because she was going to plan to cover the top of this. But she took this opportunity to clean out her cookbooks and put some aside to donate or give away, and then of course clean out that bin. So this is a great way to show you that if you have something that's functional and that you like, but it's not the prettiest, it's so easy to take it from, and I can't believe I'm gonna say this, drab to fab, or improve it with just, some contact paper or scrapbook paper or paint. You can make improvements on your own without having to buy brand new things. So for just $1, and it didn't even take the whole roll, so it wasn't even a full dollar, but she was able to cover the top of this, and it really transformed the look of it. Applying this contact paper from the Dollar Tree was so easy too. So all she did was lay it out, and she's only going to cover that middle part of the top. You can see that there's kind of a border around it. So what she's doing is just using her fingernail to kind of make a guide of where she knows where to cut it with scissors. And then after that, she did go ahead and trim it down, and she just followed her little fingernail mark. And then once it was all cut out and measured down, she's just going to start at the top and unpeel a little bit of it and then push it down, and you'll see that I start helping her, and then just keep unpeeling and pushing, unpeeling and pushing until it was all the way covered. So it was simple, easy to use. In fact, you might see this paper show up in some of my DIYs because I took the rest of it and covered my craft tables. And I applied it myself. So it is very easy to use. Definitely recommend this if you want to change the look of an item or even a space. After that, it was time to put that in the pantry and then give her toolbox. And yes, she has her own toolbox. And she went ahead and cleaned that off and stuck that right on top. After that, the final step is to label. Now, we purposely kept this towards the end because, like I said, we did a lot of moving around. So I just bought these labels from the Dollar Tree, and I'm just writing all of my different categories and just sticking them on there. Now, some of them did not want to stick, so in a little bit, you're going to see that I actually go over some of them with some packaging tape. And then my mom did go through and just kind of reinforce all of the labels with some tape, but these worked out really well. I really liked using these, and it was so simple to apply. So after we got all of the labels put on, this extreme pantry makeover is complete. Here's a reminder of what the before looked like. Very cluttered, very, very messy, lots of food. And here is the after, and wow, what a difference. What do you think?
Okay, after working all day on the pantry, we finally got it organized, and I think it looks so much better than what it was. Are you happy with it?
Oh, yes, very much.
Yeah. Now we do have some finishing touches to put in it. We thought we overbought containers, but we actually didn't get enough. My mom just has too much pasta, but that's what you get when you're an Italian family. So we're gonna run back to the Dollar Tree, but we're gonna leave you with this beautiful view, and we're gonna wrap it up. That'll be it for our video today. We hope that you enjoyed it and got a lot of really good ideas and were inspired to organize and declutter your pantry or an area in your home. If you haven't done so already, please don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel, then hit that little notification bell so you can get notified anytime I upload a new video. Also, if you loved what you saw today, give me a thumbs up. Let me know if you want to see more of this kind of content. I'm pretty sure my mom would be okay with it. All right, well, until I see you again, I will organize or declutter or craft or haul or decorate with you soon. Bye!